Hello, this is Jan from Red Toad Art Studio, and today we're going to do part one of our Pumpkin Week series, which means we're going to learn how to draw a pumpkin, and this is really very easy. I think you'll enjoy it. You can download our free sheet of instructions for drawing your pumpkin at our website. All right, this is very simple. You just need a pencil. I'm actually using an HB pencil, but you can also use one of these yellow pencils that you took to school or you write your grocery list with. It will do just fine. An eraser, just about any eraser will do. And I like to have a little brush to brush away my eraser crumbs, but that is optional. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle for our pumpkin. And you want to put it in a place on your paper that will leave you room for a stem and some leaves. So I'm going to put my circle, about there. In fact, I'm going to put a dot both places just so I can see that. And you need to draw lightly at first so that you can erase some of these lines. I'm going to try to draw a little heavier so that you can see my lines on camera. Oh, that was not a good circle at all. But you know, we have erasers for a reason. I don't do so good when I try to draw dark. Now, you should not feel bad about any of your circles by the look of my circle. I usually do a little better than that. But you know what? Pumpkins aren't perfect circles either. So we're just going to go with this and see what happens if I have a very imperfect circle to start out with. At the top, we're going to do something that looks like a flying geese. Like that. Very simple. And now we're going to come off of one of these goose wings, and do a curve that comes back down to the bottom, just like that. This is drawing the segments of our pumpkin. And then we're coming from the other goose wing and doing the same thing. Now, I want to go over here and add another curve in. Over here for a curve. Now remember, you draw lightly because you may want to erase some of these before you're done. There we go. Now I'm going to add two more little lines up here that will be behind part of the stem. Just like that. And you see we already have something that looks like a pumpkin. Now our instructions don't tell you to do this, but I like to come down here and round off the bottom of these segments that I just drew because it looks a little more pumpkin-y that way. Just like that. We're rounding it off. That's why I like to say draw lightly at first because you may want to erase, and then you will want to erase these lines of the original circle. Okay, the next thing we want to do is add our stem in. So come up here where all of these segments meet. Come over to the left a little bit about here. And we're going to draw a line that goes up above your pumpkin. And again, I don't think our instructions show that too much. You can make your stem as long as you want. And then come over here and draw the other side of the stem. I kind of like to have this at a tilt and come down a ragged line here. Come to the right a little bit. Another little ragged line. This is where we've cut it off or broken it off from the vine. And back down. And you see, there is our pumpkin stem. And we want to erase the part of the pumpkin that is behind that stem. There we go. Now, I'm not doing the greatest job at erasing, but we'll fix that later. All right, the next thing we need to do, and I always say this is probably the hardest part, is learning how to draw a pumpkin leaf. I'm going to move this over and show you on another piece of paper. I like to draw me a square or a rectangle, whatever you want to call that, about the size of what I want my leaf to be. And pumpkin leaves can be fairly big. So I draw that. Can you see that? I divide it kind of approximately in thirds. No need to be exact. Come up here to the top line in the middle, and we're going to make kind of a hill. Just like that. It doesn't go to the edges. It just goes, about, 3/4 over, a fourth over here. And I like to say this pumpkin leaf is a very friendly pumpkin leaf, and it wants to hug everybody. So we're going to come out with here with kind of arms that are spread wide. And now we're going to put fat little legs in. So we're going to come like this. Like this, and here we make a curve up. You can kind of see, it's like a gingerbread man, but the head kind of melted in the oven. This is where the stem hooks to the leaf. Does that make sense to you now? And we're going to have veins coming in. I'll come from that side there. And from down here, we'll have a vein going up to the arms, a vein going to the other arm, and then veins into the legs. And you see, we now have our pumpkin leaf. We will erase all of these extra lines, which will just leave us with the leaf. So I'm going over here, and I'm going to put one. Actually, our instructions have us putting one over here, but I have more room on this side. So I'm going to put a leaf over here. You know, you can do these wherever you want to. The instructions are just to give you ideas and a little bit of help on maybe how to do it. So I'm going to draw my square and my divided by third square there. I'm going to put my weird little head here. My little arms that want to hug. Here's my legs. Up in the curve, and then we need to hook the stem to our pumpkin. Let's see, just like that. How's that? You'll need to work that in from wherever you decide to put your leaf, and then up to the top, a vein here, another one here, and we will need to erase all that is around that leaf. But let's shall we add one more leaf? Let's add one more leaf. I'm going to put one that would be sitting right about here. And it will be partially hidden by my pumpkin and this other leaf. So there's my first line across, and there's my second one. Put the head here. The little arm, now that's behind. We don't have to draw it again. The leg, it's going to be hidden partially behind the pumpkin. Here is a vein line, another one. There we go. We have two leaves. We only need to put one more thing in, which is some vines squiggling around our pumpkin. So let's just come down around here. I think there's vines coming up and just swirling. How's that? And maybe a little bit of a vine. Let's pretend one's back there that comes up behind this leaf. Now you can put these anywhere you want. And, except for erasing stray lines and fixing any lines that may have gotten a little bit erased and we want them a little stronger, hey, we're done. I want to add a little bit of texture up in this stem. Just like that. With some dots up here where the stem was broken off. How's that? Now, I am going to get in here and erase all my extra lines. Okay, I have finished erasing most of my lines. Now, since I drew pretty hard, my lines aren't going to come up well, and that is why you need to draw lightly. And then at this stage, after we've erased, we can go in and fix the lines that aren't as strong or as dark as we'd like, because sometimes when you erase like around these leaves, you get a little more of your drawing than you'd like. It can be the only way to erase. So I'm going to go through and darken these lines up. Okay, I've strengthened my lines up. We do need to add the shadow yet. Now that's another thing we didn't show on our instruction sheet. But we want to add, just a little bit of spot for a shadow here. Just like that. That we will make darker in some of our later pictures. Now, on Pumpkin Week, we're going to take this pumpkin, or one drawn like it, and finish it in several different ways. So, this was part one. Our next part will be finishing it with our pencil, and that looks pretty neat too. So I hope you enjoyed drawing this pumpkin, and you'll be back to see us for our next part. So bye-bye for now.